place, okay? So videos are one way that you like to learn. What's another way that you like to learn? Yeah?
Like at my own pace.
Okay, at your own pace. So how do you do that? Do you do that right now? No, why not?
Because usually when you're at your own pace, working alone, because then you can work as slow or as fast as you want.
Okay, all right. So how does technology, can technology help with that? How?
Because like if you have a mobile device, you can maybe just sit around the room and, or at home, or just sit on the couch and nobody around.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And rewatching those videos maybe. And there are other programs that you can go through and watch it and learn from it and just practice. Part of my role at Communications by Design of CBD is I teach teachers actually. I come into the buildings and I teach your teachers. I'll be working with Mrs. Brewer and Mr. Brown and all the other middle school teachers to show them how to make these instructional videos, where there's websites that you can learn at your own pace. How else do you like to learn? Yes?
Hands-on.
Hands-on. Okay, very good. And so some hands-on, of course, we're going to actually have manipulatives or science class. We're doing experiments and things. But there are different websites that are simulators and things that maybe aren't as hands-on. That's a great one right there. How else? Who else do you like to learn from? Is it just the teachers you like to learn from? The internet? Okay, yes.
Famous people.
Famous people, yeah. How many of you have ever gone out there and tried to connect with a famous person, an author? Yeah? Good. Who have you connected with?
I tried to.
Who?
I don't even know. I was like when I was little.
When you were little?
Yeah.
Try to connect with that person? Now, we can communicate even faster. You can do a book talk. You can actually contact the author of a book and ask them questions on the book. It's pretty cool. So, famous people, who else? You just learn from your teachers? Yep. Okay, how about each other? Do you like learning from each other? No? You don't like learning from each other? Really?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, how?
Well, sometimes.
Mr. Brown, Mrs. Brewer, do kids teach kids better than sometimes you do?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's where if we can set up your classrooms, and I'll be challenging your teachers to set your classrooms up so that sometimes the three of you can work together, or the person that you're sitting next to, or the person that you're sitting behind right now. You can turn that person and learn from them instead of just going and listening to those videos, okay? Or sitting there in class. Question?
Is it the same as the other one, but somebody that you actually like learning from?
Yeah. You choose, right? You choose who you want to learn from. So let's say that Mrs. Brewer made a video and Mr. Brown made a video, and you can pick and choose. Would that be kind of nice? Yeah. Anybody have Mrs. Jetner down at over at Jeffers Elementary in kindergarten? No? How about Mr. Trask? Anybody have Mr. Trask? Those two teachers make videos, and they share them with their first graders. And then the kids get to choose. Do I listen to Mr. Trask or do I listen to Mrs. Jetner? And so that's a whole different world. Right? So, think about those and these different ways that we want to learn. But now, as Mr. Ely talked about, iPads, Chromebooks, laptops, what questions do you have that make you say, I want to know more about the iPads? I want to know more about the Chromebooks and the differences of them? What questions did you have on that list of concerns? Go back to that list of concerns for Mr. Ely. Yes?
Well, Apple or Apple iOS has some, but laptops do have viruses.
Okay. PCs, especially, so personal computers, anything running Windows or another operating system called Linux, are much more susceptible to viruses. So when you download something, you have the case of running into viruses. Apples are a lot better where they don't have, let me back up, Macs, so Mac Airs and MacBooks, laptops and desktops, typically don't have viruses. One, there aren't a whole lot of people writing the virus code for those. And two, to get something onto either iOS App Store or the Mac App Store, you have to be approved. So they have to look through your program and make sure it doesn't have any viruses. Good question. Now, any device that is here at the school, it will be connected to the network, so the wireless. If it's a laptop, it'll also be through the network as far as you have to log in, and they'll be checking the filters. Yep, exactly. It'll be managed to make sure that, again, you can't put any programs or apps on it, okay? So, again, you might get a device and you might not be able to put things that you want on it, all right? That's because it's a school-owned device, and it's really for your protection, okay? And it's also to help your teachers and help the technology